Shalom, my name is Yeshua Yaakov ben Avraham from Jerusalem. This video is to focus on the problem of youth despair in general, in particular the extremes that it leads to, mass murder, suicide, the striking out. The behavioral scientists claim for attention, although that's partially correct. It's the 1%. The 99% of the problem is that the extreme pain of exile can become unbearable in our youth. Our blessed friends, our blessed youth don't understand or know what this is or what it means. They just feel it. Okay, so let's begin with the truth. The truth is that we have lived in a world for thousands of years of man's exile from God and from himself. It's not new, and the pain of exile is acute and extreme, and youth feels this, but so do adults. The youth also know that the world that they've been born into and grown up in and live is also in exile, so there's nobody to help them. There's a lot of talk, but no real help. The message of this video is help us in the way. The framework in general, the new science, there are some things that are very esoteric, so I'm not going to go into those. The general framework of redemption, man's exile from God and from himself has ended. It has ended and been confirmed for the last I would say 15 years by the collapse of the local reality around the world, and I won't go into the details except to say that the watershed event was 9/11. The duality that blinded man to his authentic self is the meta-narrative, which means the real meaning of the collapse of the Twin Towers on 9/11 in New York. It holds great promise for men and mankind, the world in general, and our youth in particular. The horrible, long, dark night of man and mankind's exile, and the extreme pain and despair of that exile is ended. So hold on, there's hope. The framework is Humanomics in general, and more particularly its central organizing principle, the new cognitive science behavioral paradigm, receive it to give, and even more particularly its central technology, which is identity resolution. That's what you need. You need to be able to ascend the learning curve, to learn into who you are and to inhabit your authentic self, and you live one day at a time, and you never give up and you never despair. And this video is to tell you the truth. Your father, your mother, your family, your loved ones, your friends, your teacher, the help is from you. I made a previous video and I explained in general these things, and I said to you, I said I love you, and some of the youth wondered, well, who is this man, Yeshua Yaakov? Well, he used to be Michael O'Donnell, who lives in Jerusalem, who says I love you. Let me explain what that means. The God of Israel brought me to Israel to do the things that I'm doing today, to teach you Humanomics, receive it to give, and identity resolution, so that you learn to love you. And when you learn to love you, you'll understand what it means and how it's possible that I love you. And what that really means is that the God of Israel, the God of the cosmos, created man, created you, and loves you. And his love of you is the root, is the source of my love of you, and my dedication to the work that has to be done to help you to understand who you are, and what you have to do to inhabit 24/7, 365, the authentic you, and to move beyond the boundaries of crisis, of despair that could bring destruction upon your life and others. You're very precious, you're very special, and you're very loved by the God that made you, the God of Israel, the God of the cosmos. He's the God of Allah, of the Muslims, and of the Christians, and of the Jews. He's the God of all creation. He made you, He loves you, and I love you. And you must learn to love you by learning who you are. Because the one within you, who would destroy you, does not love you. And you must fear God and fear man. In particular, the one within you that would lead you to self-destruction. When you know you, who the real you is, the long night of despair and the extreme pain of exile will slowly begin to disappear. And that's the message of Yeshua Yaakov in Jerusalem. There's hope, there's truth, there's new science and technology. It's not theories, it's not empty promises, and there's much to be done to bring it to you, to deliver the real you to you, and to sustain you in the precious life that God has given you, to know your worth and your value, to know what it means to love yourself, and to be able to receive love from others, and to give that authentic love of self, the real you loving yourself, to others. And when you inhabit this is redemption. In physics, it's called the quantum reality. And the quantum reality and the local reality cannot exist together. When the local reality collapses, we inhabit the quantum reality. And so the message that you must comprehend, even though you don't understand it, you have to eventually learn it so that you do comprehend it in time. The local reality has collapsed around the world, and that means the model that was given to receive, which was man's exile, has collapsed. That's the local reality. It is no more. And what follows is the quantum reality, which is redemption. We are not yet, man and mankind is not yet inhabiting the quantum reality, is not yet inhabiting redemption. But we are no longer in the collapsed local reality that was exile. It's collapse. We're in between. And Israel has to end its denial of that collapse in order to lead itself and mankind to inhabit the quantum reality. And I'm the mailman, and I'm the didactic scientist and the messenger and the agent of change in Jerusalem that brings this message to you, our youth. And your generation will broadly and comprehensively inhabit redemption. Ours is a mixed bag. We'll get some results. We'll get some people will comprehend this, will understand it and move on. And particularly Israel's religious, its secular are probably going to be a bit delayed. But God should bless all Klal Yisrael to end the denial of the collapse of the local reality, in order to help themselves and all Klal Yisrael, all mankind, and most particularly you. And that's my focus, that you're helped. So again, I love you, and God loves you. That's the most important message that you must understand. God created you. God loves you, and I'm His servant, and I love you. And you must learn the ways to love yourself and inhabit the authentic you. Blessings from Jerusalem, from Yeshua Yaakov, and more to follow.